Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the one and only one Henis, and today I am bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video over here onto my channel. Now today, guys, what I'm going to be doing is bring you guys my level 500 class setup combat record stats update video. I like to do one of these every single time I hit level 100 or every single time I go up by 100 levels in Black Ops 3, and we just reached level 500 earlier today. So I figured I'd go ahead and make this video, bring you guys my class setups, my stats, and everything like I talked about earlier. But this video is going to be a little bit special, guys, because I'm going to be setting a goal for all of you. If this video breaks 150 likes, I will reset my stats on this account back to level 1. So I'm currently level 500, and I will reset my stats all the way back to level 1 if and only if you guys can get this video to 150 likes. So if you guys can do that, props to you. Hopefully you guys will go ahead and do that if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to go over here is just going to be my class setups. You guys pretty much are already familiar with a lot of these class setups because they really haven't changed over the course of these videos, but I do want to bring these to you guys just in case there are newcomers to my channel. And these class setups, you know, even though they do stay pretty much the same, there are a few things that do change here and there. So my first class setup here is the CUDA. I've got the ELO sight with quick draw, fast mag, and grip. Now this is pretty much the standard attachment setup that I use for all of my SMGs. The ELO sight is something I recently added on just because it really does help increase your accuracy, guys. I know you may get heckled from your friends or people in the YouTube comment section if you use a reticle on an SMG just because it's seen as sort of like a newbie move, but I can tell you guys right now it really does help improve your aim a lot, and especially on a weapon like a CUDA that's already pretty accurate. If you find that your shots are a little off one day, try throwing on a reticle. It really does help out a lot. For perks, I've got Afterburner, Fast Hands, and Scavenger. Now Fast Hands and Afterburner are by far for me the two best perks in this game, by far. Afterburner is going to allow you to recharge your thrusters a little bit faster. It's going to allow you to move around the map a little bit quicker, and Fast Hands allows you to switch between weapons a little bit quicker. And because I like to YY a lot, that's something I do like to have on my class setup. So if we go back here, the VMP, the Weevil, and the Razorback all have the exact same attachments. The only thing that's different is that these class setups actually don't have a reticle on them. The reason for that is because I just find that these weapons, I don't really need one. The Weevil is a great example of a weapon that I don't feel like I need it on, because for some reason I really just like the iron sights on the Weevil a lot more than I do on the CUDA. Same thing for the VMP, and the VMP kills so quickly too, I really don't feel like I need a reticle on it as well. And when I do have a reticle on the VMP as well, I find that when I ADS, the reticle moves up and down way too quickly, and it really just makes it more difficult to aim. But in order to compensate for the fact that I don't have a reticle on, I do throw on the blast suppressor attachment, I believe, on all of these class setups, and sometimes tactical mask, which is going to be helpful if you're playing on Nuketown and you're running up against a lot of noobs that like to spam their tactical grenades. You guys all know what I'm talking about. So we'll move right along here. The next class setup here is the Locust. I brought you guys a video using this yesterday. I've got the thermal sight with fast mag and rapid fire, and then I got the Marshall 16. This is my secondary, and because I'm a noob, when I use a sniper I like to stay pretty stealthy because I play pretty stupid and pretty aggressive, so I do throw on the Ghost perk, and then I have Afterburner, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor on those as well. So we'll keep going down here. The M8A7. Now this is a pretty interesting weapon for me because this was a gun that I did actually make a video on back, I would say, a couple months ago, talking about how this was my least favorite weapon in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And the reason I said that was because on the PC, for whatever reason, this weapon is not as powerful, nowhere near as powerful as it is on consoles. And I'm speaking from going from PC to PS4. On the PS4, this gun is so much more powerful. I don't know if I just wasn't running the right attachments or whatnot, but having the ELO sight with, I believe, I was running quick draw, high caliber, and fast mag. That's what I run on the PS4 as well. This class setup just destroys people. I one burst pretty much everyone that I shoot with this gun. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then for the perks, I have Afterburner, Fast Hands, and Scavenger, because you obviously need Scavenger if you're going on long streaks. Keep going down here to the Vesper. Pretty much very similar attachments to what I was using up there on my previous SMG class setups. The only difference is here I did add another attachment, which is extended mags, which makes sense because the Vesper doesn't have a whole lot of ammo in its magazine anyway, so having on extended mags is going to help out a lot, and in order to do that I need to take off Scavenger. Keep moving down here. Prize Fighters, this was just a class setup I was using to mess around with that. Dingo, another great weapon in Call of Duty. This gun actually made it into one of my best primary class setup videos. Probably the most powerful weapon in the game in my opinion. It definitely rivals, I would say, the KN-44, but in the LMG category all by itself, this is definitely the strongest weapon in there. And then this Peacekeeper class setup is usually just what I like to use when I'm just messing around in Black Ops 3. So those are all my class setups there, guys. Let's go ahead and move on here to the combat record, the stats. What you guys are really going to be curious about here in this video. So my KD ratio has actually gone down quite significantly, I believe, from my previous video. I think I was around a 2.5 KD last time, and now I'm all the way down to a 2.4. I'm not really sure why that is, but we also got a 0.97 win-loss ratio, which I have improved dramatically on the PS4, and then a score per minute pretty much right around where I'd want it to be. I like having roughly a 500 score per minute. I think that's pretty good considering I do play some TDM and some objective game modes, so having a 500 score per minute I think for me is pretty good. We're almost at 100,000 kills on this account, which is just crazy to think about. The fact that we have 95,000 is just ridiculous. And then I have 1,600 wins, roughly almost 1,700, and then I believe that's 11 million score, which is crazy, and then 15 days played. So that's a lot of time played, I'm not gonna lie, and I try to think of where all that time went. It's just ridiculous. So we'll quickly go over the weapons here. The most used weapon that I have here on my account is the VMP, and this kind of makes sense when I think about it because the VMP was a weapon that was extremely strong at the beginning of the game and arguably is still one of the most powerful weapons in this game. And because I'm a SMG rushy type player, I mention this all the time in my videos, I love to use the SMG. So you guys will see the SMGs taking up the top 3 weapons here that I like to use the most in this game, and then the KN44 coming in the number 4 spot. The reason for that is because I personally think this is the most powerful assault rifle within Black Ops 3, even though I do think that the Man of War can really rival that if you throw on, like I said, high caliber or the ELO sight and even quick draw as well. Having those attachments on the Man of War can definitely rival the KN44 in my opinion, but just in terms of accuracy and consistency, and the fact that the KN44 is the first weapon that you unlock, probably arguably one of the best weapons in the game, and definitely the best weapon in the assault rifle category. So those are my weapons. Let's go over here to specials. The Scythe, this makes perfect sense. The Scythe is the specials that I've been using the most throughout Black Ops 3. The Purifier does come somewhat close. Not really, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even think it has half the amount of kills that I have with the Scythe, but still, the Scythe, I feel, the reason I like to use that more than the Purifier is because, first of all, I'm not always playing on Nuketown, which is where the Purifier is most effective because it's more close quarters, but the Scythe is something that I feel I can be much more accurate with, and the Purifier really frustrates me because I have to get really close, like I said earlier. So combat focus is definitely the ability I would say that I use the most, and then along with kinetic armor would be the second most ability. But those two abilities for me are really, really key, and combat focus is huge, especially when you're going for high kill gameplays, and it's definitely going to be a special something to be trying out when I'm trying to go for this 70 kill TDM challenge as well. The Vision Pulse is actually another curious one. I used this a lot towards the beginning of Black Ops 3. I personally thought it was one of the most powerful abilities, but quickly found that it really wasn't, just because the range on it wasn't quite what I expected it to be, and to be honest with you, the weird fade, how it would sort of fade out towards the end of the ability, made it a little bit frustrating to actually continue to follow people in terms of their movements. So that's why I really resorted to more of the combat focus or the kinetic armor. Then for equipment, you guys know I never use equipment, so actually we're not even really going to cover this too much, but concussions, I've only used 312 of them. I just don't really find these to be useful in my opinion. We'll go to score streaks. This is where it's going to get pretty interesting. It makes sense that the UAV would be the most common score streak that I've been able to get, just simply because they're easy to get. It's one of the lowest score streaks. I think you only need 5 kills in order to get it. The fact that I've gotten almost 4,000 of them is pretty crazy. And then the Hater coming in a close second, and then the counter UAV as well. And I guess that makes sense. And then the Wraith, when it comes to lethal streaks, the Wraith, the Wraps, and the Talon, 3 of the huge lethal streaks that I love to use when going for, like I said, the 70 kill TDM challenge, or just a really high kill gameplay, just because the Talon is a pretty low streak, pretty easy to get, and then it allows you to lead into, if you're running the Wraith or the Wraps, or maybe even the Hater as well, allows you to build on top of that. The GI unit is a good score streak in my opinion, but to be honest with you, I think that it costs a little bit too much for what it actually ends up delivering, and even though it can get the job done a lot of the time, it's still a little bit expensive in terms of what you need for actually score in order to get it. Let's go over here game modes really quickly. We'll just kind of breeze over this. My SPM in domination is actually 575, so it's quite significantly above what my combat record says, which makes sense though, because it is an objective game mode. You're going to be getting more points for cap assists or just killing people on a flag or capping a flag, stuff like that. TDM is the other game mode that I play the most, and that makes sense too. On the PC, it's much easier to find TDM lobbies, which is unfortunate, but it is nice that Treyarch also made the decision to actually up the kill count in TDM from 75 to 100. They did that in Advanced Warfare, and then they also did it here in Black Ops 3, which I think was a really good move. Hardpoint, another one of my favorite game modes, and the uplink, I would say, is probably my favorite game mode of all time in Black Ops 3, especially if it's on the map Nuketown, because you guys know I love to rush, I love getting a lot of kills, and the fact that the spawns don't flip very easily in uplink makes for a really good time. So that's why you'll see my SPM and my KD ratio are very high in uplink in comparison to some of these other game modes that I'll play. That's all it for the game modes right there, guys, and we don't really need to go over Arena because I never play this either, but yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, guys. So hopefully you all did go ahead and enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please be sure to smack a like, guys. Like I said, if we hit 150 likes, I will reset my stats on this account all the way back to level 1, which means I'll lose Dark Matter, I will lose all the camos that I've been able to achieve, I'll obviously lose all of the weapon attachments that I've gotten. I will get to keep, I believe you keep the DLC camos, the ones that you've unlocked from the black market, and you do keep your DLC weapons as well. well. If I didn't get to keep those, I probably wouldn't even consider making this video, just simply because I'd want to keep those weapons so bad, but I'm pretty sure you keep your DLC weapons. So hopefully we'll be able to reach that like goal. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Comment down below hashtag 150 if you watch up to this point in the video. Be sure to go ahead and check out the other videos on screen now if you guys have not done so already. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all. I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, everybody, keep gaming as always. Stay cool. Adios.